It's good to be with you. Believe it or not, it's called the 33rd Sunday in Ordinary Time. And actually, time is running out of ordinary time, because next Sunday will be the Feast of Christ the King, and then we're into Advent. So we're wrapping up, you might say, the ordinary Sundays with this Sunday. And you might say the texts are all over the place in some ways. The beautiful first reading is a description, one of the most beautiful of the scriptures, of a very industrious woman, a wife, who does all kinds of wonderful things, makes use of all of her talents. And in a framework that might sound ancient, but it's very indicative of the importance that was put on her role in the household. And there's that beautiful line, charm is deceptive and beauty fleeting. Charm is deceptive and beauty fleeting. And this not only applies really to women, but I think it applies to any Christian, that Jesus says to us in a very real way, especially through the gospel of this Sunday, that I'm not looking for people that speak nicely and look wonderful. I am looking for workers. I'm looking for people that will invest the energy, the good things that I give them for the good of others. It's the investment of life in the gospel message, the investment of life in the gospel message that makes you truly wonderful or beautiful or acceptable in terms of the gospel passage and the message of the gospel that Jesus wishes to share. So charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, and in a very beautiful way is described to us in that gospel passage, a parable. Again, one of those parables that we have to be very careful about how we interpret it, because every aspect of a parable is not comparable, is not being, you might say, is not describing God or the situation with God. Some of it brings out some ideas, and that's what Jesus is trying to bring out, an idea about in the investment that each of these characters, three characters, receive. But it's also very important that when we hear certain words in the gospel, we know what they mean. For example, they mention that the master leaves and gives talents, Talents, talents to the individuals. And it's important to remember, a talent, this is not an aptitude of singing or dancing or being able to play a musical instrument. It's not that kind of aptitude. A talent was actually a way of describing amounts of money. And one talent was 80 pounds of silver, which might say, well, what does that mean for us today? It would be interpreted, one talent would be, as I understand it, would be the wages for 6,000 laborers in those days. Woo! That's a pretty hefty sum of money then, isn't it? Yes, it is a very hefty sum of money. It's almost astronomical that anybody would entrust to their servants not just a talent, but 5 talents. I mean, that's just unbelievably it's almost overwhelming, especially in Jesus' day. And maybe that's what's important about this passage more than anything else, is to realize that Jesus is not talking about some kind of business investment or, the ordinary kind of investments. He's speaking in terms of a spirituality. In a sense, what is a spiritual profit? He's trying to ask us make out from the grace of God in our lives. What's the spiritual profit that we are bringing forth into the world by our faith, by the grace of God that is at work in us, which is really something far unbelievably greater than any other kind of gift that we could receive from the Lord. And it's very important because again and again he says, well done, my good and faithful servant. Since you were faithful in small matters, I will give you great responsibilities. Well, the problem here is the money invested was a huge amount of money, so it was already great. But what Jesus is trying to say to us, that you have small matters in the end which you have to take care of. But if you take care of them well, you take care of them with grace, you take care of them with faith, just like that housewife or the woman of the household in the first reading, that if you just take care of those small matters, it will be something that will be praised and something that will be a profit, something that as the gospel acclamation, if I can find it in my pages here, sorry. The gospel acclamation says, remain in me as I remain in you, says the Lord. Whoever remains in me bears much fruit. So let's bear fruit for the Lord, for he's been very gracious to us. God bless you.